So here we go. I'm sharing my screen with all of you. So like I said, that this will be your revision session. I will quickly take you through all the entries, at least the common entries which you must remember a bit more conveniently. Okay, so some of you are familiar with this. I will revise the entries along the, I will do a bit more different thematically. So those who are in the present batch will probably will not know this, but the older students definitely have an idea about this scheme. Okay, so I will revise, but not in the way we have done earlier. So what we have done earlier was, I went through the regional perspective, where I would take up a region, say I would take up a region called MP or a state, and I'll do all entries of the state. I would go to a region called Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and do all entries of Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. I'll go to Rajasthan and do all of them. Okay, so that was one technique. Now what I'm doing is, I will take you along the borders. Some of you are familiar with this. I'll take up all the entries at or near the borders, right across northeast back towards Uttarakhand like this. And second, we will also do the revision ke liye, all the entries along the intersections. We'll do the entries along the major intersection of the lines. So that's how. So nothing new. It's just a different way of helping me revise. As I said, no, this is going to be a recall session, revision session. Many of you have a problem because see, we can do the maps until you picturize and remember the entries, you are going to be troubled afterwards. Let's start off. Okay, let me consolidate. You have done this for almost 7-8 sessions. Let me consolidate, then we can move on a bit more. And it'd be nice if you also have your outline sheets so that you can keep on recalling. Okay, you can keep on remembering what all I have taught you. Okay, so recall while I'm doing this. So here we go. So this entry, I believe all of you know, this is the city of Leh. This is Srinagar. This is Leh. This is Srinagar. This point here is Pathankot. So Leh, Srinagar, Pathankot. So you drop down from this corner, not exactly on the intersection. You drop down here. This is Leh. This is Srinagar. And this is Pathankot. So 1, 2, and 3. 1 is Leh, 2 is Srinagar, and 3 is Pathankot. And because I'm doing this, okay, so we are doing the intersections right now. This, if you remember, this is Jaipur, this is Kota Rawat Bhatta. This is Jaipur, this is Kota Rawat Bhatta. And what is the midpoint of these two? The midpoint of these two here is Tonk. Yes, this is Tonk. So this is 4, 5, and 6. 4 is Jaipur, 5 is Kota. We also approximate Kota as Rawat Bhatta, and 6 is Tonk. Okay, so Leh. Can you tell me what all can you approximate at Leh? Hemis, yes, Hemis National Park. Hemis National. Khardungla Pass, yes. Nubra Valley, yes. You also have, this is also the gateway to the Shiok Valley. Shiok Valley, if you remember this corner here, from this corner, if you move here, this is Manali. So if you move here, this is Manali, and Rohtang Pass is at Manali. Yes, Ladakh range, of course, Ladakh range. So this is approximate orientation of the Ladakh range. So you know Leh and Hemis National Park. That's important. So Morari, no, it'll be along the borders here. Not here. You'll have so Morari here, and you'll have Pangong Lake. So some of these lakes and wetlands I will do separately. Zojila is not here. Wrong. Zojila is somewhere here. So if you remember this as Kargil, okay, this is Kargil here, and if you make this into an isosceles triangle, then somewhere here is Dras. So at Dras, you will mark as, okay, Zojila Pass towards Dras. So Dras maybe somewhere midpoint here. Then this is Zojila. Anyways, so Leh, you remember Leh. You remember Srinagar, we remember Pathankot. Do you remember what all we can approximate at Pathankot? Pathankot is also Theen Dam, Pong Dam, P-O-N-G, perfect. Theen Dam or Pong Dam. The other name of Theen Dam is Ranjit Sagar, yes. And Pong Dam is Maharana Pratap Sagar, yes. It's not at Kargil, it's a bit ahead of Kargil. Okay? Remember, on the way towards the Kargil. At Pathankot, we have approximated Pong Dam is also a bird sanctuary. We approximated the Theen Dam. Now, Pando Dam, it's a choice. You can mark it at Pathankot, or Pando Dam, you can also mark at Mandi. That's a choice you have. So it's somewhere in between actually, rather than exactly. So you can take a choice, Pando Dam. Okay, fine. So Pathankot, Srinagar, and this is Leh. This is Jaipur. Jaipur, this is Kota Rawat Bhatta, and this is Tonk. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, now next entry for recall. So what I'm doing here essentially is I'm recalling all the important entries at or near the intersections. We'll start with that one. Now, do you remember what do we have? Okay, somewhere here. This is the vertical Delhi line, and this is the Prayagraj Allahabad line. What do we have here? Anybody? Shivpuri, yes. Not Guna. This is Shivpuri. No, this is Shivpuri. Yes. So this point here, a bit east of intersection. What is Shivpuri? Shivpuri is a bird sanctuary. Yes, sanctuary is national park. It's a bird sanctuary. Perfect. Now for Guna, if you remember, Guna, you have to go from this corner. From this corner, you have to move eastwards. So from this corner, if you move eastwards, Guna is on the Delhi line. You move further eastwards. What do we have here on the vertical Nepal line? Panna. Okay, yes, Panna. On the either side of the other line, what do we have? We have Satna and Riva. Yes. So this is Panna. This is Satna. This is Riva. So we have this is Shivpuri. This is Guna. This is Panna. This 10 is Satna. This 11 is Riva. So don't confuse between Shivpuri. So Shivpuri will be along this line, a bit east of this. This is Shivpuri. And if from this corner, if you mark, this is Guna, and you move further eastwards, on this line, you can mark Panna and Khajuraho. And either side of this line, this is the vertical line to Delta, Krishna Delta. On either side, this is Satna, this is Riva. So 8 is Guna, 9 is Panna, and also Khajuraho. 10 is Satna, 11 is Riva. Panna, yes, Panna is also, okay, the diamond mines, and they are industrial diamond, okay? At Panna, you have industrial diamonds. Do you know what mountains are along Satna and Riva? The Vindhyan mountains, okay? The Kaimur, the part of Vindhyas, which is near Satna and Riva, is Kaimur Hills. Kaimur, exactly, part of Vindhyanchal, Kaimur Hills. So now tell me, what is this place here? Vertical Lucknow line, yes. Jaipur line, and section is Lucknow, perfect. And if you remember, okay, Lucknow, yes. And if you remember Kanpur, this is Lucknow. And Kanpur kaise hoga? A bit south west of it, exactly. So somewhere here is Kanpur. So this is 12 and this is 13. It's 12 and this is 13. So 12 is Lucknow and 13 is Kanpur. So 12 and 13. I'm only marking the places on the intersection right now so that we get, and whatever we can, okay, close to intersections, whatever we can. And I hope you know how to mark Delhi also. So Delhi, you'll have to move from this corner, go on the vertical Delhi line. So yes, go west from this line and you drop down a bit. So somewhere here, so left on this corner and a bit below. Perfect. This is Delhi. This is 14. And can you tell me what all national parks can we approximate at Delhi? Yes, Okhla Bird Sanctuary. What else? Sultanpur Bird Sanctuary. And somebody said Asola Bird Sanctuary. Yes, I say Asola Wildlife Sanctuary. Sultanpur is a bird sanctuary and Okhla is also a bird sanctuary. Okay, Manged Forest, Mangar, Manged Forest. It's actually part of Haryana, right up to Alwar. Okay, so Alwar approximately, agar mark kare na, this is Jaipur, this is Delhi. So Delhi, Jaipur, okay, is midpoint mein, more or less on this line here you can mark. So this is more or less Alwar. Okay, so if you have an imaginary line joining the place is here. This is Alwar. So I could also add 15 here. So Manged forest, right from Haryana till Alwar. So this is 15. 15 is Alwar. Alwar is also Sariska National Park. The Project Tiger and also is National Park. Sariska, Alwar is in your Rajasthan. Okay, let's come back here quickly. Okay, what all did we mark? We marked Leh, we marked Srinagar, we marked Pathankot, and some of you are confusing Rohtang and Khardungla Pass. So this is Rohtang Pass. Okay, remember this here. You remember that Rohtang Pass. Rohtang Pass is near Manali, and at Leh we have Khardungla Pass. And there's one more pass slightly north of Rohtang Pass. It's somewhere here. If you know this place here, this is what's called as Baralachala. This is Baralachala, the source of river Chenab. Baralachala near Kelang. Yes, this place here. This is Kelang. So, kuch passes karna hai. I will do that for you. This is Kelang, Baralachala. This is near Kelang. Yes, Lahore Spiti region. Yes. And then what we were doing is this is Jaipur. This is Jaipur. This is Kota Rawat Bhatta, Tong here. Along this line, we have Shivpuri. Along this line, we have Guna. Do you remember how to mark Jhansi? Yes, it's east of Shivpuri. Okay, this is Shivpuri here. Shivpuri and this line can midpoint yahan par. Exactly. This is Shivpuri, this is Nepal. So midpoint of these two, this is Jhansi. Okay, so this place here, this is Jhansi. Orchha near to Jhansi, can in fact mark Orchha more or less at Jhansi. There are temples here, okay, historic temples yahan par hai. You can also mark it at Jhansi more or less. So this is Kota. Along the Kota line, remember we have Shivpuri. Okay, along the Kota line we have Jhansi. This is Jhansi. And do you know where is Gwalior? Once I have Shivpuri, I have Jhansi. Do you know where is Gwalior? This is just north of Jhansi, below the Jaipur line. So somewhere here, this is Bhind. Gwalior somewhere here, okay, and Agra somewhere here. It now kind of becomes a triangle here. So fine. So we have marked 15. 15 is Alwar, and this is 16. 16 is Jhansi, and this is 17. 17 is Etawah, and also Bhind, B-H-I-N-D, Bhind. Also Auraiya. Okay, so more or less we have a sense of these locations. Okay, we have a sense of these locations. So you remember Panna, you also remember Khajuraho, and okay, now we move on. So I hope you remember what is this? What is this? This is Bhopal. And what else can we approximate at Bhopal? Bhoj Lake, Vidisha, Sanchi, Land of Lakes, Bhimbhetka, not Bhimpeka. It's Bhimbhetka. So 18, Bhopal. So Bhopal is also Vidisha. Bhopal is also Bhimbhetka Caves. Bhopal is also Sanchi Stoop. It is Bhoj Lake. Bhoj Lake. Bhopal is sometimes referred to as the city of lakes. Perfect. City of lakes. Yes, it is source of river Betwa also. Betwa emerges from near Bhopal. Okay, and I hope you remember where is Jabalpur. So this is Bhopal on the other line, a bit below here. So Bhopal is on the intersection more or less, but Jabalpur, keep it a bit below. So somewhere here. So this is Jabalpur, number 19. And Jabalpur. Jabalpur is also Marble Falls. Jabalpur is also Dhuandar Falls. Yes. 19 is Jabalpur. Which dam can be approximated at Jabalpur? Bargi Dam. Yes. Jabalpur, you can also approximate as Bargi Dam. B-A-R-G-I is also Bargi Dam. One of those projects of River Narmada, part of the River Narmada project. Now, do you remember? It's also a fault, absolutely. Dhuandar fault. And yes, if you know Bhopal and Jabalpur, this you can also approximate Sagar. Halaki, actually, Sagar thoda sa aur upar. Sagar is somewhere here. But we take a liberty. We have, for simplifying our locations, I have marked Sagar here. And what can I mark here, anybody? East of this intersection. What can I mark here? Katni, yes. Katni cement plant, coal fields. Katni also has this is Katni. So this is Sagar. Okay, so we mark Sagar somewhere here and we mark Katni somewhere here. So this is Sagar. It's actually a bit north of this, but that's okay. We approximated. And this place somewhere here, you can mark as Katni. So this is 20 and this is 21. So 20 is Sagar and 21 is Katni. Katni has industries, the most important being cement industries. Now, do you remember what do we have here? Anybody? North of this corner, what do we have here? Gandhinagar, Ahmedabad. Yes, I can approximate Gandhinagar and Ahmedabad here. Correct. You just have to go slightly north of this. This is Gandhinagar, Ahmedabad. And do you recall what do we have here? Anybody? Okay. Yes, this is Vadodara. And what is midpoint of Gandhinagar and Vadodara? Anand Kheda. Yes, 22. This is 23. So 22 is Gandhinagar and also Ahmedabad. And of course, a whole lot of entries. Do you remember a national park at Ahmedabad? Anybody? Nal Sarovar, bird sanctuary. Yes, Nal Sarovar. You also approximate Nal Sarovar. Not Velvadar. Velvadar is somewhere near Bhavnagar, not Velvadar. Okay. Now, what is this? Ujjain. Yes, Ujjain. Ujjain is on which plateau? Anybody? It's part of Malwa. Perfect. So 24. Okay, either 23 first. 23 is Vadodara and 24 is Ujjain. Or where can we approximate Ankleshwar? Anybody? Bharuch, yes. Basically, I'm trying to give all entries. Okay, partly I would like to confuse you also so that you are ultimately able to register all of this. Okay, so yes, Bharuch. Bharuch is where we approximate Ankleshwar. Okay, so Vadodara, Ankleshwar. Okay, now if I move east of this point here, somewhere here, anybody knows what is to be marked here? Indore, yes. So this is Indore. And if I move further east of Indore, what do I get on the Pathankot Kalimar line? Itarsi, yes. So this is Itarsi. Okay, so if I move eastwards from here, this is Itarsi. This is 24, 25, and this is 26. So 25 is Indore and 26 is Itarsi. And what else can we approximate at Itarsi? Hosangabad district. Yes, Hosangabad district, Panchmadi. And what is at Panchmadi? Dhupgad Peak. Pench and Panchmadi confuse na karna. Okay, where do we have Pench? Anybody? Pench National Park, Nagpur. Yes, Pench we approximate at Nagpur. Correct. Midpoint of Vadodara and Ahmedabad is Kheda Anand. So this point here, this point is Kheda, midpoint. Dhupgad is the peak. Yes. So this is Kheda or Anand. Okay. So I think so far so good. Now, can anybody tell me what is here? Okay. Now look. This intersection here, what do we have here? Anybody? Bellary. Okay. And what do we have here? What do we have here? Chitradurg. Yes. So this is Chitradurg and this is Bellary. So do not mark at the intersection. This intersection here. Okay. So this is Bellary and this is Chitradurg. Okay. 27 and 28. This is 27 is Bellary. And Bellary is also what? Anybody knows? What all can we approximate at Bellary? Hampi. What else can we approximate at Bellary? Hospet. Hospet mines, iron ore, Hospet. What else at Bellary? Hampi, Hospet, Tungabhadra Reservoir. Yes, Tungabhadra Reservoir. Tungabhadra Dam. Yes. And Chitradurg, anybody knows what is the significance of Chitradurg? Chitradurg is industries, iron ore mining largely. Yes, Dharwad region. No, Chitradurg and Chikmagalur, don't confuse. This is a mistake. Okay, so 27 is Bellary, 28 is Chitradurg. Many of you will confuse Chitradurg with Chikmagalur. Does anybody know where Chikmagalur is? So this is Chitradurg. This is Mangalore. Mangalore, Chitradurg, midpoint, and you go a bit perpendicular from here. This is Chitradurg. I repeat, Chitradurg here. This is Mangalore here. Chitradurg, Mangalore midpoint is somewhere here, and you go a bit north here. So somewhere here, this is Shimoga, and on the other side, almost the same, maybe somewhere here. This is Chikmagalur. There's like almost like mirror opposites, 29 and 30. So 29 is Shimoga, yes. Mangalore, Chitradurg, midpoint. You go a bit north here. This is Shimoga. On the other side, maybe a bit southwards, come here. This is Shimoga. So once you know this angle here, you can mark it somewhere here, approximate it somewhere here. So 30 is Chikmagalur. 29 is Shimoga. Chikmagalur is also Baba Budan Hills. Chikmagalur is also Kemangundi Mines, Kudremukh Hills, yes. And Shimoga is Jog Falls. Shimoga is Gersopa Falls. Shimoga is also Linganamakki Reservoir. Shimoga is also Bhadra Wildlife Sanctuary. Yes, Shimoga also Bhadra Wildlife Sanctuary. So my concern is that you should not be confusing Chitradurg with Chikmagalur. Okay, don't confuse Chitradurg with Chikmagalur. Bellary is here. 27 is Bellary. Arunor Mines, Hampi. So does anybody know what do we have here? This is Hassan. This is Bangalore. And I hope you remember Bangalore is which national park? Bannerghatta. Yes, Bannerghatta National Park. Tiger, Project Tiger. So 32, 31 is Hassan. 32 is Bengaluru. This is Banerghatta. Yes, Nandi Hills also. Nandi Hills is also Bangalore. And does anybody know what is this intersection here? This is Vellore. Vellore, and we also can approximate this as Tirupati or in Chittoor district. So this place here, so 33 is Vellore. This is Tamil Nadu. We also approximate this as Tirupati. This is also Chittoor district in Andhra Pradesh. Sheshachalam Hills, thoda or north hoga. It should be somewhere near Kadapa, I believe. Okay, fine. So this part we have done. Now let us look up some other intersections. Like let's try a bit on this side here. So do you remember what do we have here? What is here? This intersection here, a bit below this. This is Ranchi. Yes, this is, keep it a bit below. This is Ranchi, 34. What is this? This is Patna. This is 35. Okay, so 34. 34 is Ranchi. 35 is Patna, Hajipur. And do you remember? Okay, Patna is also which refinery? Barauni, P-A-R-A-U-N-I. Barauni refinery, yes. Barauni, IOCL, Barauni. And this is Ranchi. And if you can recall this intersection, there are two places here, Asansol and Bankura, yes. This is Asansol and this is Bankura. So 36 and 37. And Asansol is quite many entries, 2-3 of them. Asansol is also Durgapur. Do you remember which coal fields do we have here? Raniganj coal fields, yes. Asansol is also Chittaranjan, yes, heavy engineering. 37 is Bankura. Bankura is also Rud Plains, the Mott Delta of Ganga. Okay, so right now Ganga has the Sundarbans. Okay, but there was an old delta which ultimately in time was abandoned by river Ganga when the river shifted further eastwards. So Rud Plains, so this region here has the remains of the old Ganga delta. Today, the Ganga has moved further eastwards, so this part now becomes Sundarbans here. This is the old delta called as the Rud Plains, R-A-R-H, Rud Plains, and Mott Delta, yes. And just to recall some places here, I hope you remember what is this here. Ye kya hai? This is Muzaffarpur. This border, midpoint somewhere here, we have marked as Supal. You come down from Supal. This is Bhagalpur and Munger. Okay. So this line here, this is Supal. You come down from Supal on this line. This is Bhagalpur and also Munger. Okay, so 37, this is 38, this is 39, and this is 40. So 38 is Muzaffarpur, so the Terai belts. 39 is Supal, and 40 is Bhagalpur. Bhagalpur also approximated as Munger. Munger, where river Kosi comes and meets. River Kosi from across Nepal comes and meets at. Now, do you remember these two prominent corners of Nepal border? And I will use this to mark some cluster here. So you drop down from here. So these two corners, you drop down from here, move a bit westwards. So we have Gorakhpur here. We have Ayodhya here. We drop down further, move here. This is Varanasi here. Drop down further, somewhere here. This is Prayagraj. Okay, so this is a cluster. And not just that, somewhere here, this is Satna, this is Riva, this is Singrauli, yes. So move east of this. So somewhere here, this is Singrauli. And you drop down from Riva, what do we have here? This is Riva. Move east of Riva, this is Singrauli. Move south of Riva, this is Shahdol, correct. So 40, so this is an important cluster. You can mark quite many entries with the reference. This is 41, this is 42, this is 43, this is 44, this is 45, this is 46. Okay, so this is a very interesting cluster we have here that helps us mark a good number of entries here. So 41, I repeat. So you must remember, okay, this corner of Nepal, there are two small projections here. Below this is Gorakhpur. Yes, 39 is Supal, correct. 39 is Supal. This is Gorakhpur. You come down and move a bit westwards. This is Ayodhya. Move down from Gorakhpur a bit westwards. This is Varanasi. Move below Ayodhya again a bit westwards. This is Prayagraj, Allahabad. Then these 2 points somewhere in between, more or less, you come down here. This is 45 is Singrauli, and you move down from Riva, around from Riva. This is Shahdol. So here we write down Gorakhpur. 42 is Ayodhya, 43 Varanasi, 44 Prayagraj, 45 this is Singrauli, and 46 this is Shahdol. 40 is Bhagalpur. Okay, we have marked this place as Bhagalpur and also Munger. 45 is Singrauli. Singrauli is also same as Renukut. Singrauli is also Govind Ballabh Pant Sagar. This is the coalfield region. Rihand Dam, Hindalco at Renukut, yes. So Singrauli is MP, Renukut is UP, just at the border. Is this part taken care of? This is the cluster that you have to remember. 38 is Muzaffarpur, 39 is Supal, this is Bhagalpur. Muzaffarpur, Supal, Bhagalpur. Varanasi is also Chandraprabha. Chandraprabha is bird sanctuary. Varanasi also as Chandraprabha. Okay, now, do you remember where Gaya is? So from this corner, from this projection, remember this projection of Bangladesh into West Bengal, this projection. From this projection, move westwards, somewhere here. From this projection, move westwards, not on the line, a bit west of the line. This one here, this is Gaya. So from this projection, you move a bit more westwards. This is 47. And do you know where Dhanbad is? Once you know Gaya, where is Dhanbad? How do you mark? Gaya is both Gaya, yes. So if you were to join these two places, more or less, Asansol and Gaya, so somewhere midpoint here, we can mark as Dhanbad. And once you have Dhanbad, I hope you remember how to mark Hazaribagh. Dhanbad agar ye hai, so this is Hazaribagh, and utna hi distance on the other side, more or less, this is Daltonganj. So this is Gaya, this is Asansol. Gaya, Asansol, midpoint is Dhanbad. From Dhanbad, you move westwards on the line, mark this as Hazaribagh, and the distance, Hazaribagh and Dhanbad, distance is almost same as Hazaribagh and Daltonganj on this side. Daltonganj, this is the major town of Palamu district. Okay, so 46. This is 47. This is 48. And this is 49. Okay, so 47, this is Dhanbad. 48, this is Hazaribagh. Oh, 47 has got repeated. 47, oh, okay, 47 Gaya mark kar liya. Okay, fine. This you can mark as 50 in that case. Logically speaking, first we have to mark Dhanbad. Then we also mark Daltonganj. And do you remember what is the national park at Daltonganj? Betla. Yes, Betla National Park. Okay, and 48 is Hazaribagh. Hazaribagh also has a national park. Okay. Yes, Tilaiya Dam. Correct. Tilaiya Dam. Okay, we have got 4 dams of Tilaiya, Konar. Both Tilaiya and Konar, they are on River Konar. Tilaiya and Konar, both on River Konar. Hazaribagh is also Lohar Daga mines, correct? Panchet up mark karna beta at Dhanbad, again part of the Damodar Valley project. I think this part is fairly done now. So for those who are not initiated, I'm sure this looks like a very big mess and a cluster, but then you have got lines to mark. Okay, you have got the lines to mark and to recall eventually. Right then, let's move on. Yeah, more or less we are done. Now, this is one recall, okay? So one recall where we have, because see, what happens for most of us, this is going to be an important cluster. Okay, आप उसके बाद में यहाँ कुछ clusters हैं और यहाँ clusters हैं. If these clusters you can mark properly, you shouldn't have problems eventually. As I know, for those who have not done or gone through the process, this looks like a cluster. But then we did have a method. Okay, we have marked more or less the entries at or near the intersections, plus some extra as you were asking. Okay, we kept on clarifying some. This I would call this as entries at or near the intersection of reference lines. Important entries at or near the intersection of reference lines.